So look at life as levels. You see, a fifth grader's assignment is different from a 10th grader's assignment. A 10th grader's assignment is different from a freshman in college assignment. On earth, we all have different assignments, yet you can't see that when you look at someone. So your parent can be on a fifth grade assignment while you're on a college level assignment, or vice versa. Your boss could be on a 10th grade assignment while you're on the assignment of someone getting their PhD. You know what I mean? And life is different. It's not, you don't see someone's grade on them. You don't see the age of someone's soul, the age of someone's spirit when you first look at someone. Yeah, it's more of an energy thing, but when you first look at someone, that's not something you notice. As long, I mean, if you're like empathetic, like if you're an empath, or if you could pick up on energy, you notice that. But a lot of us, we complain, we ask ourselves, why is life so hard for me versus someone else? It's hard for you because your soul has a different purpose. It's hard for you because you're on a bigger assignment. It's hard for you because you were on a higher level. It's not even about I'm better than you, or I'm smarter than you, or I'm this woke person. It's like, no, I literally came to earth having something that I need to accomplish, having an assignment that I need to complete and pass. And if I do not complete and pass that assignment, I'm going to have to come back here and redo it. Certain people are like, why is life so hard? Like, why am I always going through trials and tribulations after this, after that? Life is just one big learning session, one big learning trial, one big learning journey. And to be honest, it is, because a fifth grader, while they're learning cursive, you're doing your thesis. You're doing pages, essays, booklets of work. You're doing research and coming up with hypothesis and doing all this extensive work, while a fifth grader is just learning cursive and taking the little math test or multiplication tests. It's different. Like I said, you look at someone, you do not know what level they're on until you really talk to them and get to know them, and you're around them long enough to know if they're on the same level as you. But just looking at someone, you're not going to necessarily know that, unless you're like super sensitive and you could just pick up on energy really easily. But in life, people are so hard on themselves, and they're always questioning, why am I always going through this? Why is my life so harder than the average person? You're not the average person. You're, like I said, you're getting your PhD while these people are in fifth grade. They're looking forward to recess, but you're looking forward to graduating and becoming a doctor. A fifth grader isn't worried about doing surgery and working, getting ready for their 9 to 5. Fifth grader wants to go to recess. A fifth grader wants to go home and then drink juice box and eat Lunchable. You know what I mean? So it's like your worries, your hardships are just bigger because you have a higher purpose. You have a higher calling. They say God gives his hardest battles to his strongest warriors. Something like that. It's hard. I'm not saying life is not hard, especially when you keep advancing and advancing and advancing. You're just like you could be that one college person surrounded by fifth graders, and you think you're the crazy person because they all are looking forward to recess and eating the Lunchable and eating the juice box and talking about which is their favorite popsicle flavor, while you're over here and you're just like, bruh, like, I have a thesis to do, I have this test to do, like, I have to get ready for open heart surgery, and they're just like caring about juice boxes and SpongeBob. And you feel like you're the crazy one, but it's like, no, like, you're not the crazy one. You're just surrounded by people who are not on your level. They say we picked our life here. They say we picked, like, everything we're going through. They say we picked that. Like, we have a soul contract. And yeah, you could breach your soul contract, and yeah, you could break your soul contract, but you're going to be reincarnated and doing it all over again. So it's like life may seem hard, and you might be going through all these trials and tribulations and all these hardships and all this pain, but you have to understand that you pick this. And if you don't believe that you pick this, believe that either God assigned it to you, or even if you don't believe that, it's your life and you can't give up. I always say, like, the whole world has given up on me. People around me have given up on me, but I'm not going to give up on myself. Everyone around me has let me down. why would I let myself down? You know, even if I don't believe that there's some higher calling or some higher purpose to my life, it's still my life. It's still me. It's still happening to me. You know, I have to be the one to see it through. I can't just give up. You know, it's kind of sad. Like, I made this video a long time ago in like 2020, and it was a very dark video. It was about how I didn't want to be here anymore, how I can't do it. You know, I was getting over an abusive relationship with someone. I didn't have friends. It was hard. He was the only person I had in my life, and he was abusing me. It was hard. And I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. And I made this whole video. And I was just going through my camera roll, and I was watching it, and it didn't feel like me. It didn't look like me. Like, there was so much empathy I felt, and I came to tears watching the video. But that's not me anymore. That old version of me, that depressed, distraught, and pain version of me, that's not me anymore. Yeah, I still have my challenges, and I'm still struggling with mental illnesses and other physical health problems. Like I said in my last video, I have a lot of disabilities that you might not see. Like, I appear very normal, I guess, but I have a lot of problems. Even right now, I have a lot of doctor's appointments, and it's a lot. Like, I go through a lot. But when I was watching that video, I was like, this isn't me. Like, the pain, the challenges I was going through then, I passed them. I graduated, and now I'm on another chapter of my life. But if you give up now, you're not going to be able to graduate and move on and pass that old chapter that you were in. Let's say you give up and you end it. You're going to come back and still be stuck in that pain. You're going to have to get through it no matter what. So why give up now? Be strong and resilient and persevere, because I always say God in the universe rewards bravery. God in the universe rewards authenticity. It rewards when you are being authentically you and you are being brave. When you start looking at life as like a test, or at school, how do you pass school? How do you pass a test? You study. You get experiences, you get tutors, you get knowledge, or you tutor yourself. You know, you can't go through life without any armor, without any tools. You know, tools could be meditation, eating healthy, working out, having a good diet, you know, surrounding yourself with good people, watching motivational videos, you know, listening to frequencies that raise your vibration. Could be anything that works for you. You know, stop drinking, stop clubbing, you know, stop listening to circular music or negative music. Anything that works for you is how you're going to pass your test. And also understand that we all have different learning styles and learning abilities. So someone may be a visual learner, someone may be, you know, a hands-on learner, someone may be a learner, someone who learns through hearing. We all have different ways of learning and moving through life. So just because something is working for that person doesn't mean it's going to work for yourself. This is why we have to really know ourselves and come to the point where we really truly understand our life's purpose. And to understand your life purpose, you have to get in tune with yourself, your higher self, God, and just look within. Like, I know people always say look within, that's the answer, but it really is, because once you look within and start healing what's on the inside, everything else is going to align and unfold. And what you see, what you have on the inside, you're going to start seeing it on the outside. Like I gave the analogy in my last video about the camera. If you have a camera and you break the camera lens, no matter how many pictures you take, it could be in a beautiful scenery, a negative scenery, a light scenery, a dark scenery, but no matter what the scenery, if you still have that cracked camera lens, the picture is still going to come out cracked no matter what the actual scenery looks like. And that is life. If you are damaged on the inside, no matter where you go, no matter who you hang out with, no matter what experiences you experience, if you are unhealed, you're going to project that onto every experience you get. You know, in school, we have our jocks, we have our nerds, we have the drama kids, the artsy kids, the emos. Like, you got different people in school. You got the bullies, the class clowns, you know what I mean? You got the teachers, the principal, the janitors, the tutors. You got everyone in school. So look at life like that. Like, where do you fit in? Like, are you the loner? Are you the jock? Are you the artsy kid? And, you know, I'm using this as a analogy, you know, but at the same time, we've all went to high school. What was your group? You know what I mean? Like, when we graduate from high school, Like the jocks, they're so caught up in high school because that's all they're used to, the football games and just being popular, that when they enter the real world, they want to keep going back. And sometimes you may had an amazing past. Like before awakening, you could have been that jock. You could have been that popular kid. You could have been that party girl. But you have to move on to the next level of your life, because if you keep going back, like you can't. That's like you graduating 10th grade and you want to go back to 10th grade. No, you're supposed to go to 11th grade. 11th grade is different from 10th grade. You know, 12th grade is different from 11th grade. Like, I'm a 12th grader and I'm trying to go back. It's like, no, girl, you need to go graduate and go to college. What do I look like being a high schooler who needs to go to college and I want to go back to high school, or I want to go back to middle school? Like, what? It's just like sometimes when we awaken, we have to come to the terms that this is our life now. We cannot go back. We have to quit our old habits, either it be toxic relationships, drinking, doing substances we shouldn't be doing activity we shouldn't be doing. But we have to move forward, because if you do not move forward, you're going to be stuck, and you're going to repeat the level. Like, and you're not even going to be failed. You're going to purposely choose to repeat the level. You cannot do that, because you're just going to be stuck in the same cycle, and you're not going to be able to grow. And if you do not grow, you do not elevate, and you are stagnant. You are not going to be able to move forward if you keep looking behind. You're not going to be able to move forward if you're continuing to be stuck in that cycle. It could be a cycle of pain, a cycle of mourning, a cycle of heartbreak, a cycle of you doing things you shouldn't be doing, a cycle of you being detached from yourself. But you're not going to be able to get out of that if you do not move forward, if you do not pass the test. And I know it's hard, I have learning disabilities. So, like, I have to work even harder. In school, I didn't even know I had learning disabilities until I was tested when I was 18. So imagine, like, if I had accommodations taking my SATs, or I had accommodations taking my math test, or my reading test, or any test, Imagine that, but I didn't have that. So I had to work even harder. So in life, sometimes we don't have those tools, even when we need it, and we have to just work harder. But one day you're going to learn, and you're going to get those tools. And if you don't, you just have to work harder. Like, it's hard for me every day. Like, every day is hard. I don't have the same mental functions as a normal person. Yeah, I'm so blessed spiritually, and I'm so connected to the spiritual realm. Like I always say, a lot of chosen people and spiritual people were so blessed in the spiritual realm. But when it comes to the physical realm, we experience so much hardships. Yeah, I'm going to experience hardships. Yeah, you're going to experience hardships. But that means I give up? That means I just stop trying because it's harder for me? No, I'm already a woman. I'm already a woman of color. It's already hard already. And then you add on disabilities and the mental health problems and the physical health problems. You know what I mean? It's stacked. It's stacked on stacked on stacked on stacked on stacked. But you think I'm going to still give up because all these things against me? No, that's going to make me persevere even more. No. Like I always use the analogy of the race. You have the race of life. You have someone who had a good, proper upbringing, maybe have money, maybe have the tools to succeed in life, and they're in the front. They have the new shoes, the new uniform, they have people in the crowd cheering for them. But like someone, like let's say me, my situation, I'm a woman of color. I have disability, I have mental health, I have physical health, I have all these, I had a poor upbringing, I had abusive relationships, trauma on, you know what I mean? So it's like you're behind those people. I still have to suck it up and beat that race. And if I don't beat that race, I still have to at least finish the race. Not for anyone else, but for myself, because I deserve to win and finish that race. You deserve to finish this race of life no matter what you have stacked against you. You deserve to win because you are here for a reason and you made it this far. So why give up now? Your life is hard, but the outcome when you pass is greater. Like I said, 5th grader goes to 6th grade. Amazing, great, kudos. Like, that's great, that's amazing, because you have to get to the 6th grade to end up going to college. But like, it's a different reward. See, you're in college. Once you're studying to get your PhD. Once you get your PhD, you're going to be a doctor. Your life is harder because the rewards are even more greater. So always remember that the harder you have stacked against you, the greater return. The more you get through that pain, the better you have on the other side. I always say it's like, look at life. Maybe you're 50. Like 50 is like good, it's okay, it's in the middle. 50, da da da. The opposite of 50 is negative 50. So like when your life is 50, the opposite of negative 50, the opposite of 50 is negative 50. So you're going to have negative 50 down, but 50 good. 70, we're getting to 70. 70 is good. We're good. We're having our high is 70. Opposite of 70, negative 70. So the lows are going to be even greater than negative 50. Then we get to 100. You're 100. You're spiritually blessed. You got a good vibe. You look good. Life is good. What's the opposite of that? Negative 100. So the lows are going to be even harder. You have to look at it like that. Like the highs for us are high. Connected to God, have that source. I can just call on God, feel God's presence. But then the opposite of that, spiritual attacks, deep depression, feeling everyone's energy, being so sensitive, feeling people's thoughts, being so like empathetic, being so aware that it literally drives you crazy. Then the opposite of 100 is negative 100. You know? Look at it like that. We cannot be in this victim mentality. We cannot be in this pity mentality. We cannot. We're going to have bad days. Even on my channel, I have videos of me not having the best days. But that doesn't stop who I am. That's not going to make me motivate you guys less, motivate myself less. It's a bad day. I'm going to be honest about it. But I've been having good days lately. The moon is in Aquarius. I do really well when the moon is in Aquarius. I'm done. I'm so done. But I do really well. Like you guys should really look at the phases of the moon and then see how it affects your birth chart. Astrology can be a tool. It may not be a tool for everyone. Some people may be against astrology. I know the Christian community can be really against astrology. And hey, I've been there. I'm if I could choose any religion that I have the most similarities to, it would be Christianity. So when I was going to church, I did have that shame of doing astrology because some people were really closed off to it. But like, just understand that whatever works for someone works for someone. You cannot judge someone because we all, like I said, we all are students and we all have different things that help us. Like we all are connected to God. We all have that connection to God. You can't tell me I'm not connected to God just because I am interested in astrology and follow astrology. You know what I mean? So we cannot judge people because we are all the students and we all have different learning processes. So what helps you may be different from what helps me, but I'm not going to judge you for that. So don't judge me for that, or don't judge anyone else for that. We're all trying to graduate and make it through school. We all have these things against us. We don't know what people are going through. So be open-minded, have a big heart, and maybe do research. Maybe don't be so judgmental and don't be so closed off about what you've learned or what someone has taught you or what society has taught you is the correct way to worship. Maybe study and do research yourself. Maybe go within and understand what really works for you. Maybe listen to yourself. Maybe go against the status quo. Maybe just isolate yourself for a little bit and understand what works for you. At the end of the day, you're the one taking the test. You're the one graduating. So why are you listening to other people? When they telling you the answer on the test is C, you know in your heart is B. They pick C, they get it wrong. The answer is B, but you chose C because they told you it was C. You got it wrong. Listen to yourself, listen to your heart, listen to your higher self, and always listen to God and know God is with you and God will never forsake you. If the whole world forsakes you, God won't. If my mom forsakes me, if my dad forsakes me, if my family forsakes me, God won't. And always know that He's looking at us. He's walking with us. He's always there, and always know that. And that honestly will give you the most reassurance you need. That, it may be hard in the physical, but in the spiritual realm, we excel. We are so blessed. So you all take care and know that life is a school. Really look at it like that. And you may be on that college level. You may be around people on that 5th grade level. So it may seem harder for you, but the rewards are greater. You all take care.